Guys, this is CD from Indignified, and as you know, sometimes I like to wander around, taste stuff, and occasionally even get lost, but usually that's on purpose. But today I'm going to be hanging out in Incheon, Chinatown, which is in Seoul, South Korea. I'm hanging out with my buddy Tony Vu, who is a food blogger. We met in Shanghai earlier this year, and this is our second time meeting up. So he's going to show me a little bit around here, and we're going to enjoy some food. Now, you guys have probably heard of Incheon because it's the name of the airport. You might have heard it other places. But this Chinatown began in the 1880s, right after the port opened up to foreign trade. Chinese merchants came in, and they were from Shandong province, and they did what they do. You know, they opened stores, guild halls, homes. They engaged in commerce and shipping and restaurants. They built houses with colored red gates and tiled roofs and murals. And, you know, this is the story of early Chinese immigrants in lots of different places. So even though the resident population dwindled down in the 20th century, the Incheon Chinatown remains one of Korea's most enduring Chinese districts. So it's more of like a living museum than a tourist trap. And you can kind of feel that mix of nostalgia and new energy the moment you walk up the steep road lined with lion statues, neon signs, bakeries, and side street stalls. And it just smells so good. And for most visitors, the heartbeat of Chinatown here is not the architecture or statues, it's the food. You might also notice the flavors lean towards Korean Chinese fusion, because that's what this neighborhood really helped create. And nothing really represents that better than the iconic dish, Jajangmyeon. And I hope I'm saying that right, because I'm not exactly sure. But our first stop was the Jajangmyeon Museum, which is mostly in Korean. It's housed in the former Chinese Merchant Organization building, and it tells a kind of dramatic story. Even if you don't understand Korean, which I don't, you're able to go through and you see how this really humble dish became Korea's national comfort food. And that's what it is. There's millions of these served every day. And as you wander through, you see replicas of the early eateries, photos of port workers, these like weird, very white porcelain sort of statues that you can sit and pose with. And it's small, but it is oddly moving. And it kind of reminds you that food isn't just food. It's also about migration, adaptation, survival, and joy. And just outside the museum sits the place that many people consider to be the spiritual home of Jajangmyeon itself, and that's Gonghwa-chun. Now, walking into this place, it felt like we were stepping into a time capsule. It's like old school, 1950s, 1940s. The menus are old school. The seating is like classic, and the smell hits you with instant like hunger. And this is one of the earliest restaurants credited with popularizing Jajangmyeon across Korea. And when your bowl arrives, the sauce is thick, it's shiny, it's fragrant, it's packed with diced pork, onions, and that really deep, almost smoky black bean richness that clings just to every bite. I mean, it is thick. So you stir it, you cut it, you eat it, and that is the reward, my friend. Jajangmyeon is the must-have, and it is the pilgrimage dish that we came for. So here's the tip that we did. We came early because there is a huge lunch rush. This place gets super intense, and a part of the charm is being able to take your time without feeling like you're standing between, 500 hungry people and the table that they want to sit on. So let's talk about some street snacks, because it is impossible to walk 10 steps here without eating something. I mean, seriously, you'll see candied hulu. Those are the glossy, sort of jeweled like skewers of fruit lacquered and like this hardened sugar. And there's meat buns steaming in bamboo baskets. There's flaky moon cakes. And my personal kryptonite, fried dumplings. Crisp, blistered, stuffed with pork, chives, and just enough ginger to make you hungrier, which is a problem. Okay, so this guy, pretty famous, and he's the guy that just handed it to me, and I'm gonna take a bite. He said, eat it from the bag. I'm gonna try to do this as gracefully as I can, but it's not very graceful. That's so good. It's like savory.
For you to be Oh, there's smoke coming out to it, or steam.
Dude, I didn't even reach the meat yet.
And it was that good already?
Uh-huh. I had the taste from the steam. Mm. Yes.
I love street food. When you're in Korea, well, the African version of Korea, you'll find dangerous things like Tony the tiger. I think that's a tiger. Tony the cheetah. And then also beautiful, majestic creatures like CD the lion. Yeah, that's him.
So there's other stuff there too. I mean, it's not just food. There's the Emperor Steps that go up to the hill, the General MacArthur statue, and that whole history of America. And then there's the Songwaldong fairy tale village, which is like this weird example of like a kind of village that fell on hard times. And in 2013, they just hired a bunch of artists to like turn it into a walkable outdoor storybook with Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Pinocchio, The Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, and all this stuff, and it's worked. Visitors flocked there. We saw tons of kids there, loving it, taking pictures. It was really cool and kind of a funny place to see, right? So Incheon, Chinatown, it's not huge, and you can explore it easily in a morning or an afternoon, but the stories there are pretty layered. The flavors are really bold, and the experience will remind you that migration is a thing. You know, you don't think about Chinatown in Korea, but it's something that happens, and you know, all of these borders are very fluid in our world. So the next time that you're in Seoul and you're looking for a day trip, hop on the train, walk through that big red gate, wander up the hill, and reward yourself with a bowl that connects the past, the present, and your palate. I'm CD. I'm probably going to get lost again somewhere.